And it flows and it goes. All right. How about we go with that? What's the quickest way to grow?
I think like the quickest way to grow, unfortunately, is through trauma or like difficult situations in life.
So
Because
getting out of your comfort zone, or truly trauma, like something like.
um both.
I mean, I can see how you're gonna have an evolution curve if something traumatizing happens to you, but is it necessarily like growth? Is it necessarily positive?
Eh, Yeah, like I would say, for example, you get the diagnosis you have cancer.
Okay.
It's trauma, it's very bad. It's like a very heavy subject, but it's like a lot of people who get that diagnosis, they just grow so much out of it because they realize like what's really truly important to them. And then like they get out of the disease with a lot of strength, like most of them. Or for example, like you telling me the story about your accident and then really seeing how lucky you are to be alive and like how it is a gift to have this life. So like negative incidents or things that happen to you, which I would like name trauma, can make you grow very fast. And things like getting out of your comfort zone will make you grow also, but I think not as fast because it's something that you decide where you take the step. And in the other direction, like when something happens to you, the universe takes the step for you.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. I like the little nuance you brought there. And yeah, I totally agree when you were talking about, let's say, this accident that I had, which is a car accident when I was about, I don't know, 17 or 18. And I was on the highway, it was winter, I was going for a math class on a Friday afternoon. And all of a sudden, there was a traffic jam on the highway, but a very sudden traffic jam. I put the brakes, it was slippery, and I think I ended up in the butt of the other car at like 70 miles an hour. I lost my car totally, and I was so lucky because in the end, I just had like a little scratch on my forehead, and it could have, and I realized that it could have, and I actually didn't even realize it on that day, or maybe a little, but it didn't hit me there. It was just maybe 1 year, 2 years later when I came with this idea of having affirmations that I've realized how lucky I am. And a lot of people that didn't necessarily experience that type of event tend to take for granted the fact that they have their body and that they're healthy, and they don't realize that any day, I mean Friday afternoon or Friday morning, to go to my math class. I mean seriously. And then people don't realize that in a single day, like it could be today, it could be tomorrow, in a month, or it could never happen, but something could happen to you or your loved ones, and they or you would not be the same. You could lose the usage of your legs, you could use the usage of your hands or your brain, or die. So when in my second affirmation, which I will do the animation doodling thing, when I say I am lucky to be alive, that is what it stands for.
Yeah, and I think
Please
it
go on.
made you grow as well. Like you learned, you got to know yourself better, you got to know your values better, and it made yourself grow.
Mm.
So, yeah.
But the biggest I'd say lesson from that, if I can say, traumatic event, which for me was maybe not that traumatic since I ended up in such a good shape after the actual accident, which seriously was terrible, is do not take your own health for granted, whether it's physical or mental health, because God knows what can happen. And it's kind of a pessimistic way to say it when you think about it like that, but I also think it's a very easy or good reminder that this life is a gift. You need to realize that.
Yeah, and sometimes it hits me like, damn, this day, like this minute or this hour will never come again. Like it'll pass and then it's over. And there's no chance of redoing it. So sometimes I have like this little moment where I'm like, okay, fuck, I really want to take everything out of this day. Like this saying, like, I don't know if you know that saying, like, carpe diem, which is use that day wisely in Latin. Sometimes we just worry about so much, and then it's just the little things in life and being grateful. And like accidents or traumas or whatever you experience make you realize that more and make you grow and learn more, I guess.
So if ever someone's listening to this podcast, I'd love to know, what do you think is the easiest way to either grow, or what's your technique to grow as a person? And by replying, we'll also, get more information and get to help more people.